What's up?
Oh, I'm just compiling all the top sports scores, news, and odds so I can make the very best bets.
Me too. BetOnline.ag.
Join today and receive your 50% welcome bonus at betonline.ag.
Had no rebounding, no interior defense, and this will be a great segue to the draft because they didn't really address it in the draft. Not that they could have. I love how people do all those.
Yeah, they did.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Williams, but he's not going to
Big time.
start. You think
Really?
You think Williams is going to start and solve all the rebounding issues? I understand he's strong, but he's a rook.
Yeah, but rebounding's rebounding. Like you look at rebounding totals, guys who rebound in the pros, rebound in college, rebound in the pros. Like it seems to follow all the way through. So if you can rebound in the college ranks, usually those percentages hold as you get into the pro ranks. So the question will be though, he's not a 5. Like they're not going to start him at the 5.
That's the biggest issue right
you're
there.
Right. But he will be a rotation player and he'll play. He's at least, I mean, given what, let's assume a non-Kyrie world.
Right. He's not a freshman coming out of school, and he does the little things that other guys won't.
He's a 20, 25 minute a night guy, I think. I bet he'll play as much as Rob Williams will.
Year one.
Yeah.
I could see him playing as much as Rob Williams just for the fact that, he's just got a few more years of experience. They've got literally nobody else on the court, and they're both going to run into foul trouble. That's just the nature of this game at that age.
Yeah, talk to Jason Tatum about that. He can draw fouls, but he can never. He can get fouls called on him, but he can't draw fouls at all. So, what's the barf for? What do you mean barf?
Barf. It's just barf. The way that the league treats the players that way.
Okay,
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I know. You have to earn your way.
I get it. But a foul's a foul.
No,
for
it's
God's
ridiculous.
Yeah, 100%. The and ones that he did not get this year were ridiculous. And when he starts to get them, it'll be game changing. And then, again, that's why I'm sort of optimistic for the future of these younger players. So, all right. So you're very high on Williams. I can tell.
But
in watching your tweets, I'm not so sure you feel that way about Romeo Langford.
Yeah. Do you want to start there? I mean, I think.
Yeah, start with the first pick of the draft. Absolutely.
I think the issue with Langford is a couple things. One, the shot, right? And it's not a redo of you and I talking about Jaylen Brown 3 years ago, right? Because Jaylen Brown was the first. It's a little bit different because Jaylen was the first, like, prototypically sized, a big wing. I mean, just athletically could do everything, but had almost no shooting, but no injury that was part of the reason for that. Langford had an injury, but also has issues with his shot too.
In terms of the form,
an
unorthodox form. Yep.
Yeah, he's got like a weird, like, kind of sub 90 degree kind of pullback there. He's I'm the least high probably on him, other than Waters, of all the picks, just because there was a lot of value there, and you could have got him at 20, you could have got him at 22, could have got him at 24 after the trade, and I think he would have been available in all those times. But having looked at, like, kind of where the board went, I don't think it was a terrible trade or draft. I don't think there was a huge difference. I was a big Brandon Clark guy, but the fact that they got Williams kind of mitigates the need for Clark. So, that was okay in my mind. I think you wouldn't have picked Williams and Clark. So a wing,
but
you
Clark
get somebody at every position.
There. You're right. Clark was right there for him.
Yeah, they could have taken Clark at 14, and then, there would have been maybe Langford still there at 20. You had Nas Little. I mean, you had a lot of wings, Kevin Porter Jr. And evidently the Indiana pedigree thing really kind of fed a lot of that to bring Langford in. So it's a wait and see thing. The problem is there's so many wings ahead of him on the roster. It's going to be hard for him to get time. It's going to be hard for him to earn his way. But the first thing that kind of jumped into my mind was, yes, you're going to see Terry Rozier more likely to go, but does that mean Jaylen Brown is on the trade block? They've got the extension. He's going to be extension eligible. does that allow them to move on from Jaylen Brown, bring someone else in, either who's got another year to go or fits in an area of need, and then kind of reshuffle the roster a little bit more in terms of need. And I don't know. I mean, I know you wouldn't like to see that because I know you love Jaylen, and I love what Jaylen did last year. I mean, really, uh, you really respect his season, particularly the second half of his season. But Langford, I'm not as high on. So, but
I
we'll
just don't
see.
understand the wing thing. I mean, I get it,
Right.
with some of the other guards, it's such a traditional Celtics thing to do, undersized guards with high energy. And I guess one of the major themes is a lot of these players can attack the rim, right? So again, they're not going to get the call, so don't expect them to go to the free throw line in their first 3 years. But certainly they'll be aggressive to attack the basket. See, like how I worked that in there, but they're going to be aggressive to the basket. I get that, guys who can generate their own offense, et cetera. And, we had a good experience with Isaiah Thomas. So if there's one thing to be said about these, undersized guards who, can rip their way through traffic to the basket, that it's something that certainly Brad Stevens has had some experience in coaching around any defensive liabilities and how to get the offense going there. But in a lot of other ways, Isaiah Thomas was just a very special talent. And gritty players, though, locker room influences, that's been the other kind of terminology that's been thrown around for this draft. Langford does not seem, at face value, even when he was doing his interviews, to have the same kind of tenacity that the rest of them do. But at the same time, to your point, unorthodox shot or not, there's some question marks there. The athleticism, even if it's on the plus side, it's not elite like Jaylen. So it's not like I don't think he makes Jaylen Brown expendable. I'm not sure that he is switchable to the point where, in his rookie year, he could play the 4 out of need and still do okay and hold his own. And that's what Jaylen did, right? So I'm not sure that he makes anybody. I think it's a bench depth kind of thing, that they may try to do something to create space at the wing, and they could get lean if they did trade anybody. And that's really just kind of a depth move. Maybe it's a way to sort of replace Terry Rozier, who wasn't really a point guard anyway, right? So if they're looking for somebody who can kind of generate some offense off the bench, maybe that's how they plan on using him. Maybe they have all of these guys that they're just going to throw out there and see who can give them some valuable minutes next year. And then that's the one that earns some playing time. It's really hard to say. Really only Williams fits a need that they had. And I guess a point guard deal is a need, but kind of depends. The draft almost makes me think that they've moved on from Rozier regardless of Kyrie's decision too. That's what it kind of says to me, that they're going to spend their money in a different way.